Welcome back to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? That little bit of dread when you know you need to pick up the phone, call customer service about something, maybe a broken product, or a charge you don't recognize.
Or worse, the internet just cuts out.
Yeah, it's stressful. And doing that in a second language, that really ramps up the difficulty.
Exactly. Phone calls are tough, no visual cues, you're maybe already a bit frustrated.
And that's when clear language just, goes out the window sometimes. So our deep dive today isn't just about word-for-word translation.
No, it's more about the structure, the kind of linguistic architecture of that English service call.
Yeah, we want to give you the specific tools, the actual phrases you need to stay in control, handle the process, and hopefully get the answer you need.
Right. And we've got some great source material today, detailed scripts that really map this out. So our mission is to pull out the key strategies from these sources. We'll break down the conversation, not just what to say.
But why certain phrases work, structurally, even psychologically. So we're thinking maybe 3 main parts. Sounds good, like how to start, how to handle the middle part, the procedures, the waiting.
And the wrapping up with the really essential vocabulary, especially for getting things resolved or even escalated if needed.
Okay, perfect. Let's jump in then.
Right. So owning that call from the very first second.
Okay, the opening move. You call and you know the agent has their script right. That long greeting, thank you for calling blah, blah company.
My name's Jara. How can I help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the key insight here, I think, is that you should actually get in there first. Don't just wait for their whole spiel. Absolutely. Take control. And the core phrase is actually pretty simple, but really powerful. Hello, I'm calling about.
Yeah.
Agi. It sounds basic, but it's tactical, isn't it? You're immediately focusing the agent on your reason for calling. Cuts through the noise.
Yeah.
Totally. And you just plug in your specific issue, like the examples in our source material show. I'm calling about my internet bill. Or maybe I'm calling about a delivery that didn't show up.
Right. Or in the sample case, we looked at the internet being down. Yeah, the customer just says, hello, I'm calling about my internet connection. It stopped working last night. See? Direct. No long story. Just the problem. Okay, so that's your opening shot. What do you expect back from the agent? We mentioned the standard greeting.
Right, like, good morning. Thank you for calling Skynet Internet. My name is Jara. How can I help? But then comes the step you absolutely have to be ready for. The verification. Exactly. It's unavoidable. They have to know who you are. So they'll ask something like, can I have your customer ID, please? Or maybe, could you confirm your account number or postcode or something like that?
Yep. And your response needs to be quick, confident. Just, sure, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever it is, don't fumble here.
Because getting past this quickly is key to moving on, right?
Definitely. It establishes who you are, lets them pull up your details. Lingering on verification just builds frustration on both sides.
Okay, so that quick ID check sets the stage. Professional, clear. Now we're into the middle part, managing the procedure. And this is often where patience wears thin, especially with holding.
Ah, the hold music. Yes. The key phrase you'll hear is something like, please hold on for a moment, or maybe just one moment while I check your account.
And that just means wait, don't hang up.
Right, just wait. And a simple, okay, thank you, is the perfect response from you. Shows you're still there and cooperating.
But what if a moment turns into 10 minutes or 20? You start wondering if you've been cut off or forgotten.
That's a fair point. The anxiety does build. So if the wait feels really excessive, when they do come back, you acknowledge them first. Like, thanks for getting back to me.
Okay.
But then you can maybe add a gentle nudge, something like, were you able to find the issue? Or even, thanks, just wondering if this might take much longer.
That's subtle. It reminds them of the time without sounding, angry or demanding.
Exactly. Keep it polite. Keep it focused on the problem. Now, let's say they come back with an update. What are you listening for?
Right. The diagnosis or the plan. You're listening for 3 things, usually. The reason for the problem, the action being taken, and the time frame for resolution. Okay, reason, action, time frame.
So the agent might say, thank you for waiting. I see there's a service issue in your area. That's the reason.
Okay, got it.
Then our team is fixing it now. That's the action.
Right.
And finally, it should be back up and running in about 2 hours. That's the time frame.
Okay, that makes sense. Reason, action, time frame. Now, as the customer hearing that, your first step should be to confirm you understood correctly.
Yep. Repeat it back briefly. Oh, I see. So just to confirm, it should be fixed in 2 hours because of a local service issue.
And then you introduce maybe the most important phrase of the entire call, especially if the fix isn't immediate.
Yes. the magic words.
Can I please have a reference number for this issue?
Absolutely crucial. Why is that phrase so important?
Well, that reference number, or sometimes they call it a case number or ticket number, it's basically your insurance policy, isn't it?
It really is. If the problem isn't fixed in 2 hours, or if you have to call back for any reason, you don't start from zero.
Right. You give them that number and boom, they should have the whole history right there. Saves repeating everything.
It's the language of accountability. And if the agent seems hesitant to give one,
You just politely insist. I understand, but I really do need a reference number just in case I need to follow up. Keep it calm, but firm.
that single phrase, reference number, really does shift the dynamic. It shows you know the process. Okay, so let's link this procedural stuff to the key vocabulary. We're not talking basic words like problem or help.
No, we need the words that come up specifically in these service calls, the jargon related to the process and the tech stuff.
Exactly. The terms that really unlock what's happening, especially when things get a bit technical or complicated. Our sources highlight maybe, 5 really key ones? 3 procedurals, 2 technical.
Sounds about right. Let's do the procedural ones first.
Okay, first, obviously, reference number. We just covered that. Your documentation.
Essential. What's next?
Second, troubleshooting. You'll hear this a lot. The agent might say, okay, I need to do some troubleshooting on your connection.
And that just means they're trying to figure out the technical problem, right? Like testing things, maybe asking you to do stuff.
Precisely. They're diagnosing. Often involves asking you to, check lights on a modem, restart things. It's the problem-solving phase.
Okay, troubleshooting. And the third procedural term, the one you hope you don't need, but you need to know.
Right. Escalation.
Escalation, meaning?
It means moving your problem up the chain to someone with more authority or technical knowledge, a manager, a supervisor, or maybe a specialized team.
Sometimes called Tier 2 support.
Exactly. If the agent says, I'm sorry, I can't resolve this, I need to escalate this to Tier 2 support, that means it's going to a higher level. It can actually be a good sign they're taking it seriously.
Okay, so reference number, troubleshooting, escalation, those cover the process. What about the technical actions or verbs they use?
2 really common ones. First, the goal is always to resolve the issue. Resolution is the endpoint they're aiming for.
Makes sense. Resolve the problem.
And a common way they try to do that, especially remotely, is to perform a system refresh, or more simply, ask you to reboot something.
Ah, the classic. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Basically, yes. Reboot just means restart. Reboot your modem, reboot your computer. It's a standard first step in troubleshooting. System refresh might be something they do on their end to reset your connection.
Okay, so knowing those 5 terms, reference number, troubleshooting, escalation, resolve, and reboot, that gives you a much better handle on what's actually happening during the call, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You can follow along, understand the steps they're taking, and know what to expect. It demystifies the process. If they're just doing basic checks or if it's become a more serious escalated issue.
It prevents that feeling of confusion when they're talking tech or process jargon. Okay, but let's hit the really tricky part. What if the answer they give you just isn't good enough?
Ah, yes. The unsatisfactory resolution.
Like they say, sorry, we can't fix your internet for 3 days, or there are no supervisors available to talk to you. What's the script then? Because the sources we looked at kind of glossed over this high-stakes moment.
This is where being polite but really firm is critical. Emotion doesn't help here. You need to state your expectation clearly and then use that escalation language we just talked about.
Okay, so how would that sound? If 3 days is the answer for no internet, you could say something like, I understand that's the current estimate, but being without service for 3 days isn't really feasible. What's the procedure for escalating this? I'd like to speak with someone who might be able to explore faster options.
Using their own language back at them, procedure for escalating. Okay? And if they say, sorry, the manager's busy or Tier 2 is backed up.
Then you pivot to documentation and demanding a callback commitment. Okay, I understand they're busy, but can you please log this formally as a request for escalation to a manager or Tier 2 support?
Get it on the record. Exactly. And then follow up with, could you also tell me when I can expect a callback? I need a specific time frame, please. Log them into a commitment. Wow. Using terms like escalation, Tier 2 support, log this formally. That signals you're serious and you understand how the system should work. Precisely. It shows you won't be easily put off. You're not just complaining, you're navigating their process to get accountability.
That feels like a really powerful shift. It's not just about understanding, it's about using the language strategically to get results, especially when things go wrong.
And always Always, if the call ends without full resolution, what do you ask for just before hanging up?
Gotta be the reference number.
Every single time. Before we finish, could I just get that reference number again?
Yeah, this is fantastic. Let's maybe pull it all together now. A quick review of the key phrases that really structure the whole call, from hello to goodbye, including that potential escalation. Sounds good. So 6 key steps or phrases. Step 1, take control immediately. Hello, I'm calling about, and state your problem.
Smoothly handle verification. Sure, my ID is number.
Acknowledge the necessary pause. Okay, thank you, when they put you on hold.
The crucial request for proof. Can I please have a reference number for this issue?
If needed, the firm but polite demand for higher help. What is the procedure for escalating this? Or, I need this logged as a request for Tier 2 support. And finally, step 6. Always end politely, even after a tough call. Thank you for your help, or thank you for logging that request.
Master those 6 points, and you've got the framework for pretty much any customer service call, whether it's a quick fix or something that needs pushing up the ladder.
That really covers the whole journey. And remember, practice is key here. Every call you make, even the frustrating ones, is a chance to use these phrases, get more comfortable.
Don't be afraid to actually use them, especially reference number and escalation when you need them. They work.
So a final thought for you, our listener, thinking about this deep dive, when was the last time you had a really tricky customer service call, one that didn't get resolved right away?
Think about that situation. Knowing what you know now, how could using the language of escalation or insisting firmly on a reference number have maybe changed things?
Yeah, mentally walk through it. Next time you face an issue, imagine yourself using troubleshooting terms, asking about Tier 2 support if needed.
That kind of mental rehearsal, applying these specific phrases to your own potential situations, that's how you turn this knowledge into real, confident communication when you're actually on that call.